I'm Matt.
I'm Shane.
And if you like what you hear, make sure you hit that thumbs up button real hard, and make sure you subscribe to Comic Movie Marks.
And also click that little bell for all of the notifications.
Whee!
Always remember,
If Trailer Trash can do it,
anyone can do it.
hello and welcome everyone to another Comic Movie Marks video.
We are T-minus roughly 2 months away from the release of The Joker. Obviously can't get enough of it. We got the final trailer. We have some lovely first reaction reviews that we're going to go through. And we have some stupidity that we'll end off with.
So we got some of the first reactions, so send in the reactions. We had a recent trailer, and as soon as we got the trailer, we got some reactions to the movie. For the most part, I have yet to see one negative about the movie from people that have actually seen it. There is some dumbasses we'll talk about later on that haven't seen it, but for now, the people that have, it definitely seems to be trending. Hashtag Venice76 is one thing trending, and of course, Joker movie itself is trending. It had a screening recently at the Venice Film Festival, and several people have been able to come out and give their first reactions to the movie. And right now, the general consensus is it's receiving a thunderous standing ovation. Critics have praised it, calling it darkly funny, thrilling, and tragic masterpiece anchored by a powerful Oscar-worthy performance.
I'm not gonna attempt to pronounce this name, but someone on Twitter says, bring in the clowns, hashtag Joker will surprise the hell out of people. Dark, twisted, brutal origin of the most recognized villain in popular culture. Joaquin Phoenix adds another iconic performance to his extraordinary career.
Dorn Parks, I believe is the name. Joaquin Phoenix's performance in hashtag Joker movie is nothing short of Oscar-worthy. He fully commits to the role mentally and physically. Todd Phillips delivered a game-changing comic book film, and I cannot wait to see it again. Hashtag Joker. Kind of funny how one of our videos was titled, Joker, is it a game changer? Well, this person stole it. Copyright or trademark, I'm not sure.
At James Jones Film, I can't quite believe how good Joker is. It's a masterpiece, funny, dark, beautiful, full of rage, and really effing cool. Joaquin Phoenix is masterful and every shot is sublime.
All this overwhelming praise about the movie. Is this good or bad? I don't know. It depends how you are as a person. For Shane and I think I could speak for Shane on this, when critics start overwhelmingly praising a movie, it actually tends to worry us.
Yep, we get skeptical.
Because that means we don't normally agree with critics a lot of the time. It's kind of rare when we do. The fact that they find it sublime, masterful, is kind of... And again, with critics as usual, with these first reactions, they can't think of any other words than the same ones being used over and over again. They all are basically writing the same thing. Joaquin Phoenix is apparently Oscar worthy, and the movie is a masterpiece.
I'll allow it.
It's tough because it seems like everybody's limitation on the English language to write these reactions, they need a thesaurus.
It also would probably help them out a little bit to not read other reactions prior to. That's what it seems like to me, is before they form their own opinion, they read other opinions and then kind of form their opinion based off of that, which could be good or bad. I think it probably would be a little bit more diverse in terms of what people are thinking, or at least putting out there on Twitter.
So then let's go to the Chicago Tribune.
Chicago.
Shikasha. Shish kebab. Shawshank Redemption. Chicago! You're out of there!
So the title is, In Joker, the stakes are life and death, and comic book movies may never be the same. Something that we have talked about with the Joker. Can it be the game changer? Can it actually change the tone of comic book movies? Is there actually going to be some kind of renaissance with the Joker? That's a question we've been asking, and is this going to be something different? Well, we got more information from Todd Phillips and a producer of the movie as well. So Todd Phillips describing the pace of the Joker, he says, you're not starting on 11. You'll get to 11, but we're really starting on 2, and it goes from 2 to 3 to 4. It's a slow burn. He also says, it really came from the idea, what if we did a comic book movie differently?
Hugh was very focused also on making a film that had a more naturalistic vibe. We both in our discussions talked about movies like The Wrestler, Little Miss Sunshine, Paper Moon, a lot of 70s films, a lot of films which very much contradicted the kind of hyper-edited sonic blast that has come to define, in the new millennium, the tentpole movie. We wanted to make something more paced, a little more modest, smaller in scale.
So then producer Emma Tillinger-Koskov, she says this is a very gutsy move for Warner Brothers, and I commend them.
Right.
She came into the project via her longtime partnership with Martin Scorsese, who had considered becoming an executive producer on the film before becoming too busy with his upcoming gangster epic, The Irishman. Koskov continues, there were some hiccups trying to get the green light, and there were some concerns about some of the content. But once we locked and loaded our budget, they really gave us a tremendous amount of space to do what we needed to do. The passion Todd has for this movie is palpable, and when he starts talking about it, it's hard to say no to. At the end of the day, he's got to make the movie he wanted to make.
Oh, again, it's really hard to believe a lot of these people from the studio, because this is what they're going to say. A lot of people want these movies to feel like they came from certain directors. They want more of a unique feel. At least we do. I can't speak for everybody.
In this camp, for sure. I would even hope in the DC camp, we want more of a director's feel and tone and touch.
It's an interesting comment to make, for sure. I find it like it's really trying to emphasize to somebody somewhere that may have reservations about this movie. In the next paragraph, Phillips talks about the transition in management at Warner Brothers. If you've been following the Snyder Cut stuff at all and what happened with Justice League, you know all about this. But let's just basically say, to sum it up, Justice League was a hodgepodge of ideas put together because Zachary Snyder had to leave due to a family tragedy, and they took advantage of that. WB and DC definitely took advantage of that, and they redid his entire movie into a more condensed 2-hour version. So Zack Snyder's version was much longer than this and a completely different movie, but WB took advantage of that situation, and now there's a whole different thing going on with that movie in general. There was a transition between the original management and new management, and he talks about it was a year-long process from when we finished the script just to get the new people on board with this vision, because I pitched to an entirely different team than made it. There were emails about, you realize we sell Joker pajamas at Target. There were a zillion hurdles, and you just sort of had to navigate those one at a time. At the time, I would curse them in my head every day, but then I have to put it into perspective. I'd have to go, they're pretty bold that they did this.
The Tribune continues, Phillips is well aware that the scrutiny of a comic book movie is intense, and though he may not be one himself, he knows that diehard fans can be touchy about deviations from the canon. At one point during the development of Joker, he proposed to Warner Brothers executives that they create a separate offshoot label called DC Black as a kind of laboratory for what he calls independent-minded films about these characters. My favorite part, in parentheses, they're like, calm down with the label, how about you do one movie, Phillips says with a dry laugh.
We kind of got a hint of last time we talked about this, but it's kind of funny that this is still not probably under that official label yet. Get one movie done, and then let's go from there. As we previously stated in our last one, there was a thread from the Empire magazine where Phillips said, I said, let Joker be the first, and then let's get fucking great filmmakers to come in. Instead of trying to live in the shadow of the beast, the MCU, let's do something they can't. This includes a $30 million budget and no CGI hoopla. Let's strip it all away. It'll be liberating. So that was kind of his comment then. Their idea that they were going to try something different. This right now, Joker is that experiment for Warner Brothers, for sure.
For me, I kind of, misunderstood where the DC Black label was going. I thought that was something that the studio was taking that idea from Phillips and kind of moving forward and going, yeah, we will kind of create this side, I guess if you want to say this side piece. I don't know if that's the best way to put it, but they're going to create this whole side label for directors to come in and take different approaches to DC films, which I think is kind of cool. Because initially, I was a little disappointed. Why are you pulling away from your shared universe? I still like that idea, especially from what Snyder had kind of kickstarted with Man of Steel, BVS, Wonder Woman jumped in there, was fantastic as well. So we started kind of building a foundation, and I was a little nervous about the Joker. But then when you start hearing about the DC Black Label, this could actually be an opportunity for different, maybe non-comic book directors to come in and take a stab at, maybe a different approach to some of the more well-known characters, such as the Joker. They have the right idea. I guess it only makes sense. The first one has to be successful in whatever route they determine successful, whether it's from critics or box office or both. And then from there, maybe they'll start rolling out some other films very similar to the Joker.
Todd Phillips also has something to say to those that supposedly read a leaked script. And Phillips says that leaked script was a draft probably from April of 2018, and they're in for a big surprise when they see the movie. The script changed quite a bit between that version and when they began shooting last September.
Can't say anything. It's gritty and dark. Oh, Gotham. I mean, I haven't seen a cut or anything.
But the script was good, I assume?
The script was great. We rewrote the whole thing while we were shooting it. Literally, we would go into Todd's trailer and write the scene for the night and then do it.
Yeah.
Man, the writer of that script is going to be so pissed to hear you say that.
I know, he was there too. He was helping.
This is what I find incredibly funny, is the ability for people to take something and let their agenda about a particular subject or how they perceive something. I find it fascinating, but at the same time, sometimes it gets very annoying. There's definitely this perceived notion by the trailers and what supposedly was leaked about the movie that has really warped a lot of people's narratives about the movie and what apparently its secret deep meaning really means. We have one person here. The Joker trailer has me feeling that some type of way. The trailer seems to operate as, or at least seemingly lays the groundwork for a kind of justification, and in parentheses, rather than an explanation for why white cisgender heterosexual males lash out violently against society.
And on the other side, I was waiting for this movie more than anyone, but the new leaks show it is pandering to social justice warriors and is politically charged for the left. They want to highlight Joker's male toxic masculinity and how white men are bad. If you don't believe me, you can do a little research.
On the other side, unpopular opinion, the Joker trailer looks like a love letter to kids who become mass shooters and how many awards it will win as why I'm scared of men.
Jumping back to the other side, I'm a giant Joker fan, but I have a bad feeling this is going to be a very SJW Antifa Joker, and that is not a good plan.
That's just because you're too young to understand the underlying themes.
There are no underlying themes. We know that for a fact.
You just failed to understand what the author meant.
The author meant to be as gross as possible because it was funny.
No, that's such a simplistic view.
God damn it, there is no deeper meaning in this book. Read it again.
Oh, so you're suggesting that the author just arbitrarily made fun of Sarah Jessica Parker for no reason?
Yes!
But what would be the point?
There is no point. It's just because Sarah Jessica Parker is fucking ugly.
No writer would take the time to make fun of Sarah Jessica Parker just because they think she's ugly.
Yes, they would!
It is because Miss Jessica Parker is a metaphor in the book for oppression felt by the lower class.
What? Dude, that is not in the book at all!
Boys, this book is an important look at how liberals are hurting this country.
What?
And we...
Scrody McBoogaballs is the most conservative-hating liberal in literature.
What book did you read?
There's nothing about liberals or conservatives.
Oh, yeah, then why does Sarah Jessica Parker's butt cheese end up in Scrody's milkshake?
In case I don't see you.
Good afternoon, good evening, and good night.